Google just dropped its long-awaited Nano Banana, and it's a free. This new AI model delivers pro-level Photoshop edits in seconds with only text. It has a significant impact on the real-world applications of AI image generation. And I'm seeing 90 to 95% character consistency, far beyond what ChatGPT or Midjourney can achieve. This allows us to create truly impressive cinematic universes with consistent characters with minimal effort, significantly shortening my workflow. Let me show you how. You can use Nano Banana in Gemini app, and it belongs to the 2.5 Flash model family. So if you want to use it, ensure that you pick the Flash. Alternatively, you can use it on Google's AI Studio, but ensure that you actually selected Gemini 2.5 Flash Image Preview. This is the correct model if you want to use Nano Banana. For me, best consistency test is using your own photo. So I attached my own photo to Gemini app, and I wrote, "Make him laughing." And then I was really impressed with the result. Look at this consistency of the face. It successfully changed my face expression to laughing. Once I realized this immense power, I didn't stop there, and I of course made myself bald and removed the hat. Again, did a fantastic job preserving facial details, removed the hat seamlessly from the image and made me bald. And I wrote, "Make him eating a banana, because why not?" And here's the result. I had 4 visible fingers towards the camera. It's a good job. The banana looks pretty realistic, fitting to the overall photorealistic aesthetic of this image, and it looks half-eaten. And of course, I didn't stop here. Then I wrote, "Give him a Mohican hair," and they are taking a selfie with a dog. It did a very good job with a Mohican hair, seamlessly added a really cute dog to the picture, and made us that we are taking a selfie. I can see that fingers and hand looks quite realistic. There's even this small finger support under the phone, which is a common thing people do while taking selfie. And while doing all these edits, it was still preserving the background details very successfully. Then I wrote, "Now change these characters to an outdoor scene in a high up in a building." And now we are on top of a building with the dog. I see 5 fingers as it should be, and our faces and clothing and everything looks highly consistent. Then I decided to change the weather condition and face expression together. So I wrote, "Now make the weather snowy," and his face expression sad and despair. The render came out pretty good, I would say, because this is exactly what I asked for, nothing more, nothing less, and it did a really good job. Then I wrote, "Remove the dog and change his pose to a meditation pose and make the weather autumn." Dog is removed from the composition now. Meditation pose is definitely natural looking and very good. And here you can realize the text looks strange. It looks backwards, so that can be considered as a minor error. And to give us some autumn vibe, it changed leaves of plant behind me to the autumn colors. And you can see some more details with maybe a couple of more trees. They also look a little bit more orange. Then I wrote, "Now give him a formal hair and a full mustache." And I was not disappointed. It gave me a mustache here and a formal looking hair. And then I went crazy in the end. I wrote, "Replace the tall buildings behind him with tall tree houses, change the text in his t-shirt to yellow Nano Banana, and add banana textures to the t-shirt, and give him a big Mexican hat." And oh boy, it did follow my prompt very, very carefully. You can see now buildings change to tree houses. They look a little bit more like 3D game asset-like, so realism dropped slightly there, but acceptable. It gave us Nano Banana t-shirt with banana texture and big Mexican hat. What a truly fantastic, fun model to play with. Just to see the distant faces, I did same thing, this time on AI Studio, just to test it. I attached my photo and I wrote, "This man is now riding an e-scooter." And here, my face is really like reaching to 90% consistency, and riding the scooter, this looks really natural, 5 fingers on both sides. It kept the rest of the details, like hat. It changed and got rid of the red text here, but it's a minor issue. Then I wrote, "Use same man and make him eating a delicious ramen." And it gave me a medium shot photo, which is impressive. It really understands the camera angles, and it gave me a ramen, and decided to get rid of my hat because of some reason. I'm not so sure why. Maybe because I'm indoors, but still impressive. 5 fingers, hand looks really great, and face consistency is quite high. Then I wrote, "Show me this scene from behind the subject." And same exact scene, same exact character, but just camera swapped, and we have now a different angle of the same scene. Extremely impressive. And as the last thing, I changed completely the context, took him, placed him outdoors, sitting under a large tree in a forest, and he's holding an ancient book, reading carefully. And it did exactly that. It followed my prompt, gave me an ancient-looking old book, placed me under a tree, and kept the face consistency, again, extremely high. And of course, I didn't stop here. I attached this photo of a female character shooting with a gun, and I asked, "Change her expression to calm and show me photo taken from a different angle." So same character, and face expression changed to calm, which is great. Kudos for the model. The camera angle, not much. It's still the same camera angle. But I will show you some examples that this actually works quite fine. Here it just didn't work. After that, I wanted to change the context completely. Now make her swimming in some tropical island with the banana swimsuit, keep existing colors, style, and character, and it placed her to a tropical island swimming with a banana swimsuit. Now I need to tell you, I here experienced some errors and problems when I wrote bikini, and then I was getting censored. So I changed it to a swimsuit and it worked out fine. Just something to keep in mind. But we will talk about this more in the censorship section. And then I took her, make her exploring a jungle in Belize, and then I placed her right here to a jungle. Here with the distant face, of course, there is a slight blur in the face. Consistency is here, but distant faces is still a bit of a challenge. And then I wrote, create a 4-panel character turnaround for this woman. And character turnaround simply means that you keep the character consistent, but you get like 4 different poses from different angles of the same character. And here, of course, we got slightly 3D game-like aesthetic here. We lost the photorealism here a little bit. This happens. I continued testing, generating new camera angles with consistent characters and retaining the overall aesthetic and color grading. And it can really turn a single base image into a full cinematic sequence. And there is no need to reprompt things. It's very fast. So I generated this image using Midjourney originally. And I wrote, change the scene to the subject standing at his home entrance, leaving the home at night. Okay, so this looks more like he's entering to the home, but character itself is like very consistent looking. The overall aesthetic and cinematic look is also very consistent. After that, I wrote, change the scene from above, aerial wide shot of the traditional Japanese home. As you can see, I'm playing, keeping the character and scene same, and just playing with the camera angle. And this really simplifies things for creating AI films. I did the same thing, generated this image of elven army, and I wrote, change the camera angle to show elven army from behind as they march forward. And in the distance, reveal a massive white stone wall protecting a massive castle. Look at the prompt following here. We changed the camera angle, now we see the army from behind. They are marching towards the white walls, and white walls are protecting a castle. Everything we ask for is here. And overall, how they look like, their outfit and weapons look very consistent. Now I changed perspective completely. I wrote, change the angle to an over-the-shoulder view from an orc archer standing on the castle's wall, ready to release an arrow towards battlefield of elven army. So here things got a little bit mixed up because you can see now the army is looking into the wrong direction, but over-the-shoulder shot of orc is here. Of course, with some few rerolls and reprompting, the logical error here can be solved. Then I attached this base image of 2 women in an arcade, and I wrote, make them sitting on a billiard table, and our character sitting on a billiard table. 5 fingers for both of them, it looks consistent, and their outfit and faces look extremely consistent. Really perfectly matching the original characters, the hairstyle, everything. I would say here, like, we achieved 95% consistency. Then I'm changing the pose and action again. Now make them playing billiard. First girl wants to shoot the ball and second one is standing waiting for her turn. And now this is exactly what I got. Same consistent characters in the exact pose that I asked for. Really great job. And most importantly, overall kind of like dreamy, moody atmosphere of the base image is still here. And I didn't even prompt it. It just kept it. It kept the visual style going throughout the different poses. So here I got into some trouble because I wanted to change this lantern to a gun, actually, a shotgun, but I kept getting errors. I just couldn't do it. So in the end, I decided to change it to just a water gun. And then it was fine according to the guidelines. That's a bit boring. I mean, you may have an AI film where you would like to show your character with a shotgun. That's quite limiting on Google side, I need to say. Then I wrote, this woman is no longer inside the barn, place her outdoors, sitting under a large tree in forest, and she is holding the water gun across her lap. Everything's great. Hands, fingers, looks perfect. And distant face here got a little bit into trouble, so her face expression looks a little off, but her outfit and face is pretty consistent to the base image, I need to say. A very good job, but censorship is quite limiting here. So here then I attach this photo of a character, and I wrote side profile view of this character sitting on the sand, crossed legs, and it gave me what I asked for, kept the outfit and character consistent. Now we have a new camera angle. We are seeing her from side profile view, and then same scene shot from behind of her. So now we have the same character, but we see her from behind. Then I wrote drone shot of this character, and then it got slightly better. Instead of aerial top-down view, it's better to write drone shot. So this test was fun. I attached this photo of these 3 girls in a party, I wrote make them holding cocktail glasses with colorful, delicious cocktails. And here we got into a little bit of trouble. You can see that hands got mixed up a little bit. So here's the original image. This part is actually belongs to the second girl. And when we introduced the cocktail holding arm, things got a little bit confused here. But cocktails are here. The overall aesthetic and vibe is preserved. Then I wrote change the girl on the left to Albert Einstein. Then arms and hands are corrected now, and girl replaced by Albert Einstein. I just don't know what happened here between these two characters. Suddenly a random dude appeared, and then I added Messi to the scene, and I didn't specify where. It replaced him here in a strange place. Got a little bit of a struggle here. I said now add the dog to the scene, didn't specify again where. It just added like a head here, which is like a bit strange because the rest of the dog's body is not here. Our model assumed this leg is this dog's body. I don't know, struggled here a little bit. After that, I said add Trump sitting to the scene. And here at this point, you can see that Trump and Messi looks quite like Photoshop edited, and they look a little bit more artificial. In comparison to Einstein here, looks a little bit more fitting to the overall aesthetic. Characters added later looks a little bit more fake, and Einstein looks a little bit more realistic here. I continued building a cinematic world from a single image, so I had this base image generated with Midjourney again, and then I wrote create a scene with the subject running in the existing environment. You can see the same tower here, the same buildings here, and it give us really an impressive consistency. In the same chat, as you can see, I'm just building the whole universe. Create a scene with this character entering into the building behind him, shot from behind in the existing environment. Here sometimes I realize some problems with Nano Banana, like while character is entering into the building or exiting, it gets a little bit confused. But here actually our character is exiting towards street. The character looks very consistent. And overall aesthetic of the city, I think, is well reflected here. Then I wrote provide a 4-panel image of B-roll footage of the subject, environment and its surroundings. Okay, here aesthetic got a little bit more cheerful and happier, but it gave us a close-up of his face and a wider shot, a shot from behind, and he is holding a coffee. With this prompt, you can easily get like quick 4 B-roll with the same exact vibe. And I wrote now he's standing in front of a Soviet era statue, and the hat here changed a little bit. So the original hat was looking like this, and now it changed slightly after like third or fourth message, but Soviet era looking statue is here. Then I wrote he's getting into a rose gold horse chariot in the middle of the street. Here things start to become a little bit more like game asset like, a little bit more 3D animation. Okay, then I thought what would happen if I would combine 2 different consistent characters and how this would look like. And I attached photo of Freddie Mercury and Billie Eilish, but it refused to give me that. So this is like one of the guideline things that it doesn't allow you to work with famous faces anymore. But if you don't use a celebrity, and I definitely don't consider myself as a celebrity, then it's possible to create scenes with multiple consistent characters. I attached this photo of Cyber Ape, then the Cyber Jungle Lady, and myself. Then I wrote